Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Poor, and welcome back to the Bloodtime Archives. I was on a hiatus for a while because I was going on holiday, and once I came back from, vacation, you see, I actually kind of wanted to finish up the current ongoing roleplay for the Par Stone Cinematic Universe, so I decided to just focus on that. And plus, I also kind of have a new game in the works. It's called System Rebooted. I'm not going to bother linking it here, but it'll be up on my Gamejolt page. Or actually, no, it's going to be on my alt's Gamejolt page, but whatever. Anyway, so I decided that I wanted to make a little spin-off video that didn't really have to do with a series, but it was more so just something that I thought, you know what, why not? And yeah, I know the thumbnail may seem like it's just shitpost. Don't worry, it's not. But, don't worry about it. This is actually a serious video, mind you, so, hey, don't worry about it. Today, as our return for the Bloodtime Archives, we're going to be talking about the formula of the Five Nights of Bloodtime games. Alright, so characters are what define a video game, unless you're making Tetris. Anyway, so what defines like a story game, or like a FNAF game, is its characters. And in case of Bloodtime, in the first 3 games, there's actually not that many. I think we should actually try to get the actual proper characters in mind for what makes Bloodtime, Bloodtime. Back in your first Bloodtime game, there was only one character. The Bloodtime virus wasn't originally in the game back then, so it was just Bloodtime. I only added Bloodtime because I didn't know whatever characters I could add without it feeling like it wouldn't be Bloodtime. So, Bloodtime ended up being the only character added in. When it came time to work on a second Five Nights of Bloodtime, I was like, what should I do here? What if I just added one of Metastagero's OCs? I went through his Steam page and found Buzz. Buzz is he's a red rabbit with blue as his secondary color. So it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. So I thought, hey, he looks kind of similar. Well, why not just add him in? So I added him in. Although, I still had yet to add any actual original characters. And so, that's when I began teasing Holy Time during the second game's development. Holy Time is going to get his own full episode on Forgotten Corners soon, but not for a little while. Anyway, I was like, maybe I should add in just ghosted characters like the main antagonist or something. But due to my limited knowledge of FNAF Maker at the time, I decided to cut Holy Time from the game. I'm pretty sure the only files I ever had for Holy Time in the end was like an office image, and that's it. I'm pretty sure that's literally everything. Oh my god. Okay, but seriously though. What else is there? Okay, yeah, I guess it would be a good idea to also probably talk about Death Destined, since it actually did add a lot of new characters. Only 3 old characters returned in that one, that being Bloodtime, Buzz, and the Prototype. And then there were a bunch of new ones who may make a return in future games. I'm not entirely sure. There was Tyron, Regan, the Esco-Skeleton, and Deathbot, who I really wish I just never even came up with in the first place. But yes, they kinda actually did fit in. Kind of. Of course, some of them didn't really make all that much sense, but some of them could actually fit. But if we're talking about Clash of Bloodtime though, then yeah, it should be Bloodtime, Buzz, and Holy Time. Okay, so if we're going to be talking gameplay, Five Nights of Bloodtime is pretty much known for its very simple gameplay. Five Nights of Bloodtime 1 currently, there's just a mask and the Bloodtime virus, which is just about it. Surprisingly, I'm pretty sure Bloodtime 1 was the only game in the whole trilogy to actually use the mask. Which is not surprising since it was originally released during a time where a lot of my games were centered around FNAF 2. But anyway, what about Friends of Bloodtime 2? Well, currently, the game is actually getting a major update. But currently, it actually uses the audio lure. The audio lure is pretty simple. It pretty much works how it does in FNAF 3, but it can't crash because of FNAF engine limits. What else is there? Oh yeah. Friends of Bloodtime 3 also uses the audio lure. Although, Blood Monster uses it a bit differently. You see, during Blood Monster's night, which is Bloodthirst, you actually have to go into, you have to find what camera the Blood Monster is hiding in, and then enable the audio. If you get the wrong one, then he's gonna kill you. It's pretty simple, but it works. The Legacy of Bloodtime 1 currently has the mask because it was originally a remake of Bloodtime 1. And then there's also Holy Time X, who has a different mechanic. He doesn't kill you, but when he goes to camera 6, he's going to begin draining your power. Basically, you need to click the reset button, I think it is. So that way you can get rid of him. Then on night 6, the prototype and Buzz are introduced in Legacy of Bloodtime 1. Buzz goes to the left side and he uses the reset button as well. He actually does kill you though. And the prototype also uses the mask. It's a pretty simple game, but Bloodtime is meant to be simple. It's a bit more advanced than the previous games, but it still has its own charm. Though, as for Death Destined, doors. That's it. Yeah, it was very basic. But, oh well. Anyway, that's kind of about it for the gameplay. All you really need to know about the gameplay of the games is that it should be simple. It shouldn't be too overly complex. But it also, again, even though it's meant to be simple, it shouldn't be too simple. So now let's actually talk about lore. Okay, for actual lore of the games, I suppose we should definitely start off with the original trilogy. So, Friends of Bloodtime 1. It's a pretty simple game. It's basically more so just a security guard going to work at Bloodtime's pizzeria. Not long after the reopening was announced. But of course, there's the Bloodtime virus, which had still infected Bloodtime when the game was taking place. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, but Bloodtime 1 was meant to be simple. I didn't have that many plans for it when it was originally released, and even after the major update, it was very simple. Anyway, then there's Bloodtime 2, the prequel game. I mean, heck, its title was originally Friends of Bloodtime 2, the prequel, but whatever. Anyway, Friends of Bloodtime 2. Not long after Bloodtime's diner had to close down after Buzz punched someone, the animatronics are sent back to a factory because, well, you see, they apparently were going to reopen sometime. Foreshadowing. But they wouldn't bring back Buzz because Buzz was infected with the Bloodtime virus. Bloodtime would eventually be infected with it too, but they didn't realize that for a while. So someone is selected as a security guard to go into the factory and watch everything to make sure nothing goes wrong. But then the main gameplay happens, and then the game ends. I forgot what the ending was. Then Friends of Bloodtime 3, the actual sequel, which takes place in 2040, which is 20 years after the first game, and it's the final game in the original trilogy apart from Those Nights Against the Forgotten, which I would include here, but yeah, no, I forgot to include the other sections, so it would be weird if I brought it up now. Anyway, so Aloysius Crawford actually was trying to expose the whole group behind the Bloodtime virus, but they found out about it, and so he was chased into Bloodtime's diner, or what remains of it, And now he's trying to survive against what remains of Buzz and Phantom Bloodtime. And then on night 7, he encounters the Blood Monster. He is knocked out for a while, and he was taken to the hospital after he was put into a coma. During those couple of months, he has nightmares, specifically around Halloween and Christmas. After the Christmas nightmare, though, he woke up, and the gang was finally stopped, and the story can end. So, what about the legacy of Bloodtime? Okay, well, it's more similar to Anarchy Rapper 1, since Anarchy Rapper 1 was literally based off of Bloodtime Rebooted, or, Legacy of Bloodtime. But the lore is a bit different. Unfortunately, I'm not going to reveal the actual lore of Legacy of Bloodtime, because there is actually a sequel game in the works. It's not going to release until Bloodtime's 3rd anniversary, though, which is less than a year now, but still, it's basically a year. So, I won't cover that for now. Now, let's talk about Death Destined. Death Destined was meant to be a more dystopian style like a game. It was mainly based off of System Crash, another canceled Bloodtime game which is now being revived. Mainly the fact that System Crash was a bit too futuristic, so I thought, what if I made this other game take place in 1970? Which is a while ago. And it could have worked, but I accidentally, without realizing, stole lore from Five Nights at Onion's old lore. And so, the game ended up having a very shitty ending. The protagonist was lured in by Bloodtime, who ended up, he wanted to basically kill everyone, just one at a time, before he could finally launch a big invasion through Georgia or something. But those plans would never get anywhere because the protagonist would stop Bloodtime, also killing himself in the process, and freeing the epitome. It kind of sucked. Like, it could have totally worked, but I honestly don't really like the lore that much anymore. It could have been such a good game and could have had really good lore too, but it just didn't work out like that. So, that's about all for lore. Just remember, it needs to take place between 2000 and 2040. So, lesson learned. Thank you all for watching this video on the Bloodtime archives. So the channel's been on a bit of a break because of my vacation, and then I wanted to focus on games for a bit, but the archives is now back. I'm hoping to upload every 1 or 2 weeks. I don't really want to set myself to an upload schedule, but oh well. I'm pretty sure today is Saturday, so you could probably expect a Saturday upload every week, so that's cool. Anyway, so what have we learned? Well, we learned that Bloodtime games should have Bloodtime, Buzz, and Holy Time. The gameplay should be simple, and the lore should not be too futuristic and not too dystopian. More so around our time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time when we bring back Forgotten Corners and talk about the original versions of the Five Nights with Bloodtime movie. I'll see you all next time.